So, first of all, don't talk about the way I look, because we're homegirls. We're on FaceTime. Don't judge me. Anyway, I'm sitting here just thinking about life, as most of us do, and I'm getting sad, y'all, because like I have friends, but I don't have friends that I like can pick up the phone and call them right now and be like, girl, let me tell you what happened. Like, I don't have those type of friends. Most of my friends are like, we see each other once every blue moon, we miss each other a lot, we have busy schedules. I don't really have a busy schedule. I just kind of suck at picking up the phone and texting back, but it's just because I'm one of those people, you gotta catch me in person, and we just have not been clicking like that. And it made me think about when I did have a friend group and when I was that kind of girl and we did used to FaceTime and text all day and see each other every day. And that was my freshman year of college. Man, look, let me tell you something. My freshman year of college literally was like the worst. First of all, I was going through a lot around that time. I had just lost my mom in my senior year of high school. I graduated early my senior year. Class of 2023 represent the best class ever. Argue with your mommy, not me. Anyway, yeah, I lost my mom my senior year. I was supposed to graduate December of 2022. Well, I finished school in December 2022. Of course, I walked the stage with everybody in my class in May, but I was done with classes in December, and my mom passed away in December. So it was kind of like, man, like you didn't even get to see me make it to the end. And now y'all want me to go on to the next step and go to college and make y'all proud? I don't have nobody to make proud. Like, that's how I was feeling. I didn't want to do that. But I went anyway because I knew that's what my mom would have wanted from me, and everybody else wanted that from me. But at that time, I really was like in a low place. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to get a job. It took me forever to get a stable job, y'all. My first job ever was McDonald's. I worked there from 16 to 18. Quit there because it was McDonald's is a horrible place to work, especially for your first job. Don't do it if you're thinking about it. Quit McDonald's after I graduated, and in January I worked for like 2 days at this factory. It was like a cookie factory. It's called Nature's Bakery. If you've ever seen it in the grocery store, I used to work there. You probably ate a cookie that I touched. Anyway, yeah, I worked there for like 2 days and then I quit because I had too much going on. Everybody's pressuring me about college, asking me what colleges I applied to, when am I gonna get a like they just pressuring me about my future, and I just lost my mama. I don't want to have a future. Like, take me with her. So yeah, I worked at the little cookie factory for 2 days, and then I went back to my little McDonald's job only because it was close to my house. So we get to college. I don't even want to tell you what college I went to because I don't want nobody to look here. If you know, you know. So actually, before I get to college, I'm scrolling through the school's roommate portal trying to find a black girl to room with because it was a PWI, and I don't know, I just would have preferred to have a black roommate, somebody I could relate to, somebody that I could, start this journey with. So I found this girl on the roommate portal. We're gonna call her Tina. So me and Tina, we're talking pretty much the whole summer before college starts because we thought that we were gonna be each other's roommates. Like, I thought that I picked her on the roommate portal as my roommate and she picked me too. But yeah, so we were friends the whole summer. Fast forward to college move-in day. I'm checking the roommate portal just to make sure Tina is still on there as my roommate. She wasn't. So I was really nervous because now I'm gonna have to meet a stranger. She's probably gonna be a white girl. I've never lived with a white person before. So like, I was really nervous. Like, this is a real thing. I don't think a lot of people talk about this enough. I don't think I'm gonna be the one to do it. I was nervous, y'all, but I was okay because at least I have Tina. Like, at least I know somebody. So my roommate, the vibes between me and her were cool. Conversation between us was not really flowing naturally. Like, it was kind of awkward sometimes. And I bought this card game, like this get to know you card game that I originally wanted to play with my roommate, but I just didn't feel like me and her would be friends. Like, I just didn't feel like that was something that I wanted to even pursue. Like, so I asked Tina, I texted Tina and I was like, hey girl, like, I bought this card game to play with my roommate, but do you want to come play with us? Because I didn't want to be mean to the girl. Like, she seen the card game on the table, so I know she assumed that it was for her because I don't know nobody else at this university, not that she knows of. So I know she's seen the cards and was like, oh, she bought that so we can play together. So I didn't want to be mean. So Tina was like, yeah, that sounds cool. And she actually ended up still living in the same dorm building as me. So even though we weren't roommates, we were like 1 or 2 levels away from each other. Like, it was cool. So she came down to my dorm to play the card game with me and my roommate. And I really liked Tina. Like, the next day, me and her went and we got Wingstop together and watched The Conjuring in my dorm while my roommate was out doing whatever she was doing. Like, me and Tina really vibe. I liked Tina. Tina was cool. So at my college, moving day for the freshmen was a week before everybody else. Basically, all the freshmen were on campus for an entire week, and while we were there, the school threw like events for us every single day. And one of the events they threw was like I want to call it like a block party. Basically, every parking lot of the school had something. There's foam pits, a DJ, a dance floor, inflatables, temporary tattoos with like the actual gun. They had the military obstacle courses. It was lit, y'all. Like, they had some of everything. It was alcohol out there, food trucks for the people 21 plus. It was alcohol out there you could drink. It was nice. I was like, oh, college, this is what it's all about. So I don't know if y'all know, but if you're in college, Snapchat has this thing where you can add your school, and there's a Snapchat story specifically for everybody that goes to your school. So anybody that goes to your school can post on this one Snapchat story. So this one girl posted on the Snapchat story, and she looked really familiar to me, and I clicked on her profile, added her as a friend. She added me back, and that's when I realized, oh my god, I went to high school with you. Like, you look so familiar, and it's clicking now. That's crazy. We go to the same college now too. And this girl, we're gonna give her the name Princess. So me and Princess, we knew of each other in high school, but we weren't friends or anything. Like, we had some mutuals. But yeah, we got to talking a little bit, and she was like, I want to go to the event that they're throwing tonight, but I don't want to go by myself. And I was like, you can come with me. I was planning on going, and I actually have another friend. Is it okay? Like, you want to tag along with us? She was like, yeah. So I called Tina. I'm like, hey Tina, look, this girl I went to high school with, her name is Princess. She goes here. She doesn't have any friends. Can she be our friend? And Tina was like, yeah, I'm down. Like, she was down for everything. That's why I like Tina. Tina was cool. So me, Tina, and Princess, we meet in the lobby of our dorm building, because Princess just so happened to live in our building too. And we meet in the lobby, and we head out to the block party. As we're walking around the block party, Princess sees somebody that looks familiar to her. So I'm looking too. I'm like, oh, you see somebody you know? Let me see. It turns out I knew the person too. They also went to our high school. I didn't know this person like personally. Like, this is another person from high school that I knew of, but her and Princess were closer. We're gonna give this girl the name Yellow. So we got Tina, Princess, and Yellow now, and me. We're all walking around the block party. We all cool, we all tight. I had heard a lot about Yellow from high school. Like, at the time, she was dating somebody that one of my really good friends used to date. So I knew a little bit about her just because of that situation, but I didn't really have much of an opinion on her. But I had heard a lot about this girl, so maybe I did subconsciously walk into that friendship with my guard kind of like up already, but I don't know. So while we're walking through the block party, me and Princess are talking and chatting. We're like in front of the group, and then Tina and Yellow are behind us most of the night talking and chatting. So we're like in a group together, but our group is broken up into groups, if that makes sense. But nonetheless, we clicked. By the end of the night, we had a group chat on Instagram. That was cool. So throughout the school year, we would hang out every day after class. But it was slowly starting to become a thing where Princess couldn't hang out anymore because she had a job on top of her classes and a boyfriend on top of her classes and work. So she just had a lot going on for herself. So because of that, most of the time, it would just be me, Yellow, and Tina hanging out. And after classes, we would do stuff like go to the mall, get food, play volleyball outside. We like to garden in the car. If you know, you know. If you don't, you probably don't need to know. Like, that's the type of stuff we used to be on. We're college students. Woo, woo. But slowly over time, I was starting to peep stuff, like little weird things. Like, they would be sending each other stuff and then tell me about it later. Like, oh yeah, girl, we already talked about that. And I'm just sitting here like, when? Like, where was I for that? What do you mean you already talked about that? What's going on here? I thought we were a trio. What is this? At the time, it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was something that I peeped. Like, I definitely remembered that, took note of that. I remember this one specific night, I was laid up in my dorm doing homework, as a college student does, you know. And I hadn't hung out with Yellow or Tina that whole day because Tina had to go to work after classes and I had like a lot of assignments to do. And so because of that, Yellow was just like, well, I'm just gonna be on some chill stuff while y'all take care of whatever it is y'all need to take care of. So it was like 11 p.m. going on midnight, and Tina texted the group chat like, hey y'all, I just got off work. what's the move? So I replied back, I was like, I have some assignments to do, but we could take a break. And she was like, bet. So earlier before work, I got an oil change, and while I was getting the oil change, the dude that did the oil change was flirting with me, and he asked if he could link with me when I got off work. I told him yeah, but I'm nervous about it. Like, I'm really nervous, so can y'all come with me? And me and Yellow was like, yeah. He got any friends? Like, tell him bring his friends. So she was like, yeah, he got some friends, he gonna bring his friends, we can garden in the car, you know, we do that all the time, let's just have them come on till we can match. So y'all, so we sitting in the car chilling. I'm in the back seat while Tina's in the driver's seat because it's her car, and Yellow was next to her in the passenger seat. I don't remember what the conversation was. I just remember not being a part of it. While we're sitting in the car waiting for the dudes to pull up on us, first of all, we was waiting on them boys to pull up on us for like an hour and 30 minutes. When I tell y'all I was irritated, because number one, we waiting on them, they taking forever, and number two, y'all in the front seat kikiing and laughing and having inside jokes and not including me in the conversation. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know what we talking about. At this point, I'm just in my phone on TikTok. I'm ready to go back in my dorm. Like, I got homework. I was annoyed, but I thugged it out. We was waiting on the boys to pull up for so long that I totally forgot what we was even in the car for. I thought we was just chilling at this point. So I'm scrolling through TikTok on my phone. All of a sudden, the door next to me open, and it's a random man, somebody's son. I don't know this man. So I screamed. It was like out of a movie, y'all. Like, I literally screamed just like that, and they was like, girl. Everybody looked at me like I was crazy. Like, first of all, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know you. You took forever to get here. I forgot you was coming, and you just gonna open the door like that. He didn't even knock on the window or nothing. Like, just walked up on the car. Now that I think about it though, he probably was texting Tina, and Tina probably told him, yeah, just come on, because I wasn't a part of Tina and Yellow's conversation at all. I don't know what they was talking about. They could have been talking about me in front of my face, and I wouldn't have known. Like, that's how zoned out I was. I literally was like in my own world. After me screaming in everybody's faces, the boys get in the car. First of all, there's 3 girls, me, Tina, and Yellow. Old dude that Tina was talking to only brought 1 friend. And looking back now, it's like Tina probably told him just bring 1 friend, because did she even consider me her friend? Like, anyway, Yellow hops in the back seat with me so Tori's guy friend can take her seat in the passenger. So I'm sitting in the middle. Yellow's on one side, and the other friend is on my other side. First of all, the other friend was he was hot. It was a no for me. So I'm kind of glad that, first of all, I was talking to somebody at that time anyway, so it's not like I was checking for him, but woo, thank God I wasn't, because that was a creature. But anyway, so Tina and her dude were flirting and engaging in their own little conversation. Yellow was next to me in her phone on FaceTime having another conversation, which just left me and the homeboy, the creature, to have a conversation. So as we're talking, he's like, so you go to this college too, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, okay, what are you studying, you know? And I told him, psychology. And actually, no, for that, when he was like, oh, so you go to this school too, right? I was like, yeah. And he was like, damn, like, your voice soft as. And everybody in the car started laughing, including my homegirls. Like, and it's not like maybe I'm tripping, because, you know, that's not no reason to be like mad that everybody laughing. But at the same time, it's like, what was funny about that? Why did you laugh? Like, what's tea? Oh, anyway, he was like, what are you studying? And I told him psychology. I wanted to be a therapist for kids. And Tina and Yellow just start cackling again. Like, it was just the funniest thing they had ever heard. So at this point, I'm irritated because y'all keep laughing in my face. Y'all already have been talking, not including me in the conversation. Y'all got all these inside jokes, all this stuff happening I don't know nothing about, and now you're laughing in my face. Not only are you laughing in my face, but you're laughing in my face in front of people we don't know. And they're boys, they're men. It's like what are y'all trying to do? So I'm irritated. I'm like, what's funny? Why are we laughing? Please give me hip. And they were like, yeah, so we were talking earlier, and like psychology, you know, we just don't see it. And at that point, I'm triggered, because of course you don't see it. You don't even know me, because y'all don't even talk. Y'all don't even like it. When I really sat and thought about it, like, they don't even know anything about me. Like, we literally just hang out and do stuff in college that we're not supposed to do. Like, that was literally all that was. There was no, they didn't care about me. They like. So I was irritated. We gardened with the boys, and I went back to my dorm. Oh, I I even left out a part, another thing. So on my channel, I go by the name Keonna because that's one of my middle names. My full name is Serenity Keonna Marie. And a pet peeve of mine is when people say my first name with a D instead of a T. My name is Serenity, not Serenity. I don't know any Serenities. So when people address me by my name, I expect it to be said correctly. When I introduce myself, I say, hi, my name is Serenity. Nice to meet you. And so while we were in the car with these boys and a creature next to me was like, what's your name? And I said Serenity. They start giggling, Tina and Yellow. And they were like, oh, we were talking earlier about how you pronounce your name. Like, why do you pronounce the T like that? What do you mean you were talking about that earlier? Y'all were talking about me while I wasn't there. And then it's like, so what else do y'all be saying when I'm not around? Because y'all have all these inside jokes. Y'all have, like, it just, y'all are my friends and I like y'all. I like being around y'all. Y'all are cool. But it's like, what is the beef? What's the, like, I'm starting to feel like we have an issue. Like, am I wrong for feeling that way? I don't think so. I know I'm not wrong for feeling that way. Because let me tell y'all what goes on next. Ooh, hold on, because I found the receipts and I had to make some notes because it's getting good, y'all. So look, I'm just gonna read this straight from the notes, y'all. I made like a lot of notes on this. So after the situation with the homeboys that we met up with in the car and we guarded and all that, I start spending less and less time with Tina and Yellow. Did y'all see that? It's a fly in here. So I started spending less and less time with them because I was noticing that I was inviting myself to their plans. The group chat would be inactive for days unless I sent something first. And usually I'd be texting the group chat to see if anybody want to hang out. I'd be like, hey y'all, what's up? What's the word today? What y'all want to do? Nobody would respond for hours. And if somebody did reply, it would be like Tina saying, yeah, me and Yellow are doing blah, 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 blah. You can tag along with us if you want. It's like, dang. So if I didn't ask, what's the move today? Do y'all want to do anything today? Were you even gonna invite me? Like, I'm not understanding what's happening. Like, if y'all don't want to be cool with me no more, just say that. It's starting to feel like y'all just, I was starting to feel like they were using me to garden, because in college, I was the girl that would bring the, I was that girl. So I was starting to feel like y'all using me just so y'all can garden when y'all want to. So I stopped hanging out with them as much. I still hung around them because those were literally like the only two people I knew at the school. I hadn't really made many other friends. I couldn't even talk to my roommate. Oh, girl was, not that she was weird. I don't want to say she was weird, but we just didn't have a vibe that clicked, you know? Like, she was cool, you know? I could talk to her, but not on a level where we could be friends and, like, you know, like, if you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, just to point out another situation I vividly remember. Fast forward to October. It's around Halloween time, and everybody was in a group chat trying to figure out what they wanted to do for the 31st. I really wanted to spend time with the dude that I was talking to at the time, but he had to work that night, so I was like, I guess I'll just be down to do whatever Tina and freaking Yellow want to do. So Tina had met these dudes in the dining hall one day, like the cafeteria at our college, and they invited her to a Halloween party. So like a couple days before the Halloween party, we stopped at Spirit Halloween to find costumes. I had already decided I wasn't buying a costume. I'm a broke college student. I'm eating noodles every night. Why would I spend $30, $20, any amount of money on a costume I'm only gonna wear one time? Outfit I'm only gonna wear one night. That's dead. That's so dead. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna do my makeup, put a little nose right here, some whiskers, wear all black, put my hair in little two buns. I'll be a cat or a mouse, whichever one, and it's still gonna be cute just like everybody else. That was the plan that I had. So when I went to Spirit Halloween, it was really just to get out of the dorm and to just spend time with the people that I thought were my friends. These girls thought I was lame because I didn't want to buy a costume and I didn't want to be slutty. I'm not that type of girl. Not the type of girl that's gonna walk outside with my titties and my booty out. Like, I at least have some decency. Yeah, I decided I wasn't doing that. I'm not putting on a mini skirt and a crop top in 32-degree weather. I'm just not doing that for one night. On the devilish night of the year. I'm not doing that. So, they thought that was lame, which, as my friend, like, I just don't feel like you should be making me feel that way. You know, like, you're broke too. I am broke, but as my friend, you should not be pointing the finger and laughing and telling me that. You should be encouraging me, like, you got this, friend. We in college right now. You gonna get this degree and make something of yourself. It don't matter that you broke now. You finna have a career after this. Like, you should be encouraging me the way I encourage you instead of pointing the finger and calling me broke and lame because I don't want to do what you're doing. It's crazy. It's crazy. You should be proud of me that I don't want to do what you're doing. It's terrible. But you know, I let it slide because sometimes we do joke like that. Like, let's say we all went to the drive-thru and somebody got two $5 meal deals instead of one. We'd be like, dang, little lady, you sure can't put it away. Or call each other big back or something. So when they was like brokey, because I didn't want to buy the Halloween costume, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way on the inside. But on the outside, I was like, that's how we joke. That's how we play around. So I thought. They was not playing with me. They was not playing. Oh, fast forward even further to Christmas. First of all, after the homeboy situation in the car, that should have been it. And that happened in like September. So we didn't made it to Christmas now. I don't know how we made it that long. I don't know how we made it that far in the friendship, y'all, but it's Christmas now. So every year our school throws like a little festival for the community. So they turned the library into a winter wonderland. There was live music, s'mores, a bunch of fun stuff for the kids and families and the college students. So early the morning of the winter festival, I texted the group chat and asked if anybody wanted to go to the festival with me. Nobody responded for hours. I sent that message at like 7 in the morning. I vividly remember this day because I vividly remember. It was early in the morning when I sent that message. Nobody responded all day. The guy I was talking to at the time was like, well, if your friends don't respond to your text message, let me know and I'll just come in. I'll take off work and we can just go together. Because the guy I was talking to, he was in my head. Well, he was trying to get in my head about these girls. He was like, bro, I don't like your friends. I don't like these girls. I don't want you hanging around them. These are not your friends. They don't give a fuck about you. Stop hanging around them. Like, he was telling me that the whole friendship. And I was just like, no, like, these are my friends, blah, blah, blah. So when I told him that, I sent the message in the group chat and I had been left on scene, actually, because they opened the message. I just didn't get a reply. He was like, well, if they don't respond, I'll take off work and I'll come to the festival with you. Like, you don't deserve this. And that's what ended up happening. So yeah, he came down at like 5 and the festival started at 6. About 15 minutes after he got to my dorm, my phone starts blowing up. I'm like, who is this blowing my phone up? Like, what's going on? Is there an emergency? Do I need to go? Like, what's happening? I pick up my phone and they're having an entire conversation in the group chat. And by they, I mean Yellow and Tina. Disregarding my whole message that I sent this morning asking, hey y'all, winter festival's today. You wanna go with me? They just ignored me and just had their own little conversation in the group chat. Why are y'all texting in the group chat if you're not gonna respond to me? It's only us 3 in there. If you just wanted to talk to each other, text each other directly. It's like they would do little stuff like that on purpose. So to be messy, I liked one of their messages, you know, in the conversation that they were having without me in the group chat that I'm in. So I liked one of the messages to be funny. She said, yeah, me and Yellow headed there now. My bad for the late reply. Late reply? You mean it's more than just late? Like, I just didn't even open that message. Like, I read that message from my notification wall because you're not about to play with me and play in my face anymore. I can't even sit here and be like, you're not about to play in my face, because I let them play in my face for sure, for months. But anymore, this is where I draw the line. So yeah, me and my failed talking stage, which I low-key want to do another story time about him, because I'm gonna do another story time. But well, I have to ask my Pookie if he would even be okay with that, because anyway. So at the end of the night, my failed talking stage was walking me back to my dorm after the winter festival. We enjoyed ourselves, by the way. We had a great time. We made hot chocolate. We made custom ornaments. We danced with Rudolph and Frosty the Snowman. Saw a dance battle. Like, we had a great time. Like, I wasn't worried about them girls at all. Like, he really took my mind off of that, and I appreciated him for that, because I actually really needed it. Like, I'm laughing and I'm smiling about it now, but this friendship really put me through a lot. Mind y'all, I told y'all at the beginning of the story time what I was going through around this time. My mama just died months ago. I needed a freaking friend. I'm about to cry. Like, let me take a break real quick, because actually, like, this really messed with me. Like, I can laugh. Thank God I can laugh about this now, but at that time, y'all, this really, like, girls, like, y'all need to really, it actually angers me now. Like, I don't get sad about it anymore. I'm tearing up now because it's like really bringing back all of the emotions that I was feeling at this time. But like, girls, y'all gotta do better, bro. If you don't want to be friends with somebody, just say that. Don't like string them along and make them feel like it almost felt like they kept me. I don't know what, like, I never got closure from this, bro. Friendship breakups be worse than breakups sometimes, for real, y'all. And girls are vicious and malicious and evil. Like, girls, we have to do better. better. Anyway, back to the story time, y'all. I'm done with my sob story. So yeah, my failed talking stage is walking me back to my dorm after the winter festival. And as we were walking through the dorm parking lot, like walking through the cars up to the door, we run into Yellow and Tina. And when I saw them, I was like, oh, hey, y'all. Like, I shouldn't have even been speaking to them at all because y'all ignored me all day. But I seen them in the parking lot and I was like, hey, y'all. And they just kept walking. Ignored me. Like, they didn't hear me at all. And I know they heard me because this is me and him and this is them. Like, we're walking this way and they're like coming, like, you see me. You hear me. So then I was like, dang, y'all don't hear me talking to y'all? Yellow just giggled and was like, hi. So my dude grabbed my arm and pulled me in the other direction and we started walking back towards the car. And he was like literally, like, no, he yelled at me. I needed that, actually. He, like, it felt like he grabbed me by my shoulders with his voice and shook me like this and was like, leave them alone. Those are not your friends. You're making me upset now. Like, stop. You're like, stop it. He was so upset and passionate about that. This fly is gonna irritate me. So yeah, I literally like watched them walk into the building from his car, and I sat there and I cried for a long time. It felt like I was crying for a minute. They were the only people that I had met at that school from August to December. My freshman year, those were the only friends I had. I'm far away from home. My mama gone. My roommate calls her mom every night on the phone, and I gotta sit there and listen to it. I don't have nobody up here to talk to about it. Y'all supposed to be my friends, and y'all doing me like this. Like, y'all, when I tell y'all that night, I cried so hard and for so long. Like, I haven't cried like that in a minute. I confided in y'all. Y'all know everything I'm going through right now, and y'all gonna do this? Like, that's what I should have done. That's what I should have done. Now, after this incident, obviously, I never hung out with him again. We never really had a conversation about like why we stopped talking. Well, no, actually we kind of did. So yeah, I wrote this story time out in my notes a couple months ago, so I don't have the screenshots of the messages, but I do have what was in the messages. Y'all look, first of all, look at the notes for this story time. Yeah, so yeah, it says, I'm just gonna read it straight off of here. I'm tired. Now after this incident, I never hung out with them again. We would still communicate in the group chat, but for the most part, it would just be them chatting with my other friend. I forgot what name I gave her. I gave her a name at the beginning of the story though. You know, the girl I went to college, the girl I went to high school with. Yeah, that girl. So she actually was still in the group chat at the time. She just never used to say anything because she was never able to hang out with us. There would be conversation in the group chat. 9 times out of 10, I wasn't a part of it. And me and Yellow did have a conversation one time. She asked me if I had a problem with her and Tina because things had just been a little awkward and weird since we stopped talking. But things had been weird from the jump. It just took me a while to realize that. And I told her that, and I told her I didn't have an issue with them. They just were always being weird to me, so it felt like I had to remove myself. And I was a broke college student. They always wanted to do things that cost them money, which of course isn't a problem, but when I would say no to certain things, or like the Halloween thing, for example, they would make things weird. I don't feel like I should have to point that out. So in the text messages, I told her all of that. And then at the end, I said, I don't feel like I should have to point that out. You knew what you were doing. And to me, that's not a friend. Nobody I consider a friend is going to make me feel that way. And that was like the last conversation we ever had. She never even responded to that message. Confirmed, that was confirmation for me. That was God telling me, yeah, girl, those were never your friends. So yeah, that's the end of that. There's no bad blood, no hard feelings. I just had to leave that trio so they could be a duo. Alright, I'm finna get off this phone and go FaceTime my Pookie. We could FaceTime some other day. If you subscribe though, we could FaceTime all the time. Bye, see you later.